get it. So Amapal couldn't move while the door was opening.
Hi! Hey, welcome back. Alright, let's get through this.
Took their chance.
Oh, okay.
Since the door opens outward, it's possible to take advantage of the blind spot it creates. That's how the culprit managed to stay outside the camera's view as they entered the doctor's room.
So it's an elaborate murder that took advantage of Amapal's design, and even the direction.
So that would also mean that the killer knew how Amapal works.
Whoever planned
Right?
this must have really wanted the doctor dead.
So clearly someone who works in there is not the hitman.
I guess you can call it an obsession. How scary. Just like this passageway. Where will it take us? Perhaps a suite with the culprit's obsession and for display. A room of nightmares.
Knock it off with the weird soliloquies. Let's go.
You're really going?
Huh?
What?
Get this thing!
Hey, Yuma.
Yeah, Vivia?
When the culprit entered the doctor's room while the door was open,
Huh? Yeah?
at the time, the doctor was in the room, right? If the door opened and an intruder entered, how could the doctor not have noticed?
Oh my gosh, you're right! Because he would definitely turned around when he heard the door open, and he would have been stabbed in the front, now stabbed in the back.
So what if he did notice? It's not a big deal.
No, it is, because he would have chest wounds.
Yes, it is. If he had noticed an intruder, the doctor would have turned to face him,
Vivia, you're so smart.
which means he wouldn't have been stabbed in the back.
That piece of trash is right. Your
Wait,
logic
Vivia,
is
don't tell Yomi
flawed.
this.
Hey, what are you, on the Phantom side now?
Listen to my incredible words of wisdom. Your crappy deduction is worth less than shit! Everything you do is a fucking mistake!
Wow, don't be like, inner thought demon, okay? Chill.
Damn it!
Okay.
Your deduction is inconsistent! It's full of inconsistencies! By your
I'm
logic,
trying to get the pink.
even if the doctor could be stabbed, it wouldn't be from behind.
Jump.
That claim doesn't hold up!
I don't know, throwing these at Yomi just sounds like a fun time.
No, the culprit did stab the doctor in the back. That's how the body was discovered.
That's why I'm saying your deduction is inconsistent. By your logic, the doctor couldn't have been murdered in that way!
I
The
think it's a
culprit
knife, right?
quickly
It's a
entered
knife.
the lab.
Why? Okay. Note? No. Doctor had hearing issues! Right, okay, that's the answer. Duck!
But the doctor was in the room at the time, right?
Yeah?
There's no way you missed an intruder.
Wait, that's the thing I want to do.
Running is noisy.
Oh, I'm waiting for something that says he couldn't hear.
The culprit quickly entered the...
What am I doing wrong here? Have I not hit everything yet?
the lab. But the doctor was in the room at the time, right?
Yeah, I hit that. That wasn't it.
There's no way you missed an intruder.
This is also not
Running is noisy.
color.
So Wesker would have heard and turned to face the culprit. And his chest would have been stabbed, not his back.
Did I miss the running one last
Unless
time
you
or
think
something?
the doctor was asleep.
Oh no, we're going here.
Is there any trace of him being drugged?
No.
Even if he didn't look back from his desk, he would have heard someone coming.
Oh my god, how on earth did... Okay, sorry. I didn't realize he kept talking. Apparently I just... Ugh.
Wait, the doctor had trouble hearing. That's why he didn't notice the intruder.
Now you're spouting nonsense. Say whatever you want, it won't save you. There's a gaping hole in your logic. And there's
Gaping
no
hole in
way
your
you're gonna
face.
fill it at this rate. Because you, more than anyone else, you're the one refusing to see the truth right before your eyes.
What? I refuse to see the truth? Vivius said the same thing. But...
It's strange, don't you think? Isn't it about time you noticed that something's off here?
Huh?
You've solved many mysteries up to now, yet none of them are directly connected to the culprit's identity.
That's because the culprit is the hitman.
If that's the case, why haven't you reaped the hitman's soul? That would end the labyrinth.
It's not that easy. The culprit will fight back, unless we solve all the mysteries first. Hang on. What are you getting at?
Yeah, what are... I mean, forgetting the fact that it's not the hitman. I know that.
In my eyes, the reason a single mystery hasn't been directly connected to the culprit is because of Yuma's reluctance. It's pushing away the mysteries that lead to the culprit.
Oh, okay, our reluctance to see that it's not the hitman. Okay, got it.
Subconsciously, you're closing your eyes to the truth.
God, I love how he leans down to talk to us.
That's why you haven't touched on the hole in your reasoning.
what hole?
Whatever, that's enough. Just ignore this guy and keep going.
Oh, hey!
So he can be right there and he can like pull the switchblade and be like, alright. Time to stab Yuma till he gets in his his dumb little brain.
Yuma.
Yes, yes,
Yuma.
yes.
Jeez, go away!
Darling, what do you want?
You know what I'm talking about.
I
don't
do.
You? The huge hole in this investigation.
What are you...
Just ignore him.
Let's review your deduction, shall we? The culprit took advantage of Amapau's locked position
was really
and
far
entered
away.
the lab. And before the robot entered the room, that person stabbed the doctor from behind. However, they bumped into Amapau while escaping, causing it to fall over.
They wouldn't have bumped into Amapau because they knew
That
Amapau
was
was there.
obviously a mistake,
Oh.
but since it wasn't captured on video, they were able to avoid detection. After that, the culprit went inside the decontamination device in the airlock to hide from you.
That's correct. So what's the hole in my deduction?
It's before all of that. It remains the case's greatest mystery.
Which is?
How did the culprit get past security?
What?
We already told you that. The culprit rode on top of Amapau as Master controlled it and was taken all the way to the doctor's lab.
No, he means how did the killer get into the building?
But if someone was riding on it, how did they get past the high voltage shocks in the panel chamber?
Oh yeah, that too.
Oh,
That's right. That's why. Oh, okay. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier.
This is the end for you!
God, Yomi,
you
go
have nowhere
away.
left to go!
oh, come on! Why now?
I won't let you maggots ruin the peace of Kanai
What
Ward!
peace? Everyone's getting murdered all the
As
time.
the king of Amaterasu Corporation and the guardian of Kanai Ward, I will stop
I'm sorry.
you here
King?
and now!
King?
Perhaps this too is an obsession. Why does he insist on covering up the truth? Tell me, what will you do, Yuma? Are you going to stay willfully blind?
No, I'll fight. Whether it's subconscious or not, I won't look away from the truth. I'll find the truth no matter what. This is for the chief and everyone at the Nocturnal Detective Agency.
Oh no, I'm not going to consent with Yomi, am I?
Good luck. You'll never find it. You'll scurry around this labyrinth forever, like blind mice. You'll rot away in it, looking for an answer that will never come.
I don't even know what I'm doing here. Oh, Fubuki's Forte? Yes.
Keep
Yeah.
playing with your shit deductions. You still haven't solved the greatest mystery. How did the culprit get past the security? The critical lab security system was always live.
Yeah, that's true.
There was no way to reach the doctor. The panel chamber shocks would have fried the culprit. That security system? No living human can breach it. Don't tell me the culprit is a robot.
No. Oh, crap. Crap. What was the answer?
But keep playing
Okay, oh my gosh. Fubuki's Forte. Where do I put this?
with your shit deductions. You still haven't solved the greatest mystery. How did the culprit get past the security? The critical lab security system was always live.
Okay, fine.
There was no way to reach the doctor.
Okay, that's not breakable.
The panel chamber shocks would have fried the culprit.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That security system?
What about it?
No living human can breach it.
Slash through this mystery.
Oh, duh, right. There was no shock, so we did the answer right. God, oh my gosh, I forgot that. No! You're right, because we didn't forget Sahiko
could
did
get
it.
past the panel chamber by using Fubuki's Forte. In fact, that's how we got past the panels. The high voltage shocks kept destroying Amapel. But we reversed time every time that happened.
Correct. So whenever it was struck by the current, you went back in time.
Literally twice. Okay, stop acting like I did it a million times, okay?
But while that was occurring, the culprit, a human, was riding on top of Amapel. That person was burnt to a crisp every time you failed.
Again, twice, and what was Sahiko's fault? Only one was mine.
But
Which means you killed the culprit over and over again.
Vivia, I did not. I did not.
Vivia,
If only you had chosen to remain ignorant, I would have walked beside you in silence. But if you intend to seek the truth, then I must stand in your way.
What? Honey?
what are you doing? Why are you doing this?
He's going to betray you, Master.
Betray me?
God, what's new, right? Joke's on you, I've been betrayed by every guy in Danganronpa.
It's up to you, Yuma.
This is great lighting for you, though.
This is your final chance to save the world you believe in. What are you going to do? It's time to decide your past and your future.
Why, Vivia?
No, don't get ugly. Don't get ugly. Yeah, no, just to see Chris Pine going like, agony. It's just like in my brain right now. Sorry. Gas is bacterial. 30 minutes. Oh, but also the eyewitness. Eyewitness, I guess?
We ask.
Oh, he can't help me anymore! Oh no! Oh my god, it was really pretty.
Bypass the toxic gas chamber. It's impossible to avoid the gas. The culprit will surely die.
Oh, I think I was supposed to do that one. I got it! I got it! It hit me. It hit me. I know I said it was Chief Yako, and it's Chief Yako, and this is why. It takes 30 minutes. Chief Yako spewed out blood from poisoning, not from the slaughter artist. Okay. Alright. Can I still hit that in time?
You should already know this.
Wait, no! Oh wait, because he would surely die just in half an hour.
Maybe.
Let me ask you. How did the culprit bypass the toxic gas chamber? It's impossible to avoid the gas.
Yeah, I know it is.
The culprit will surely die.
Yeah, I know. Not immediately, though.
You should already know this, right?
I do, and I
Gas
love you.
is a special treat.
Yes, it's a special treat.
The gas can see through even a gas mask.
Yeah, I know that's true, too.
No
You should use your powers to
ability
turn against
nullifies
me.
toxicity.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Once it hits you, you're done for.
Not immediately.
You die before reaching Weska.
And that's wrong.
This is the truth.
Don't hit him! No, don't hit him!
If you pass through the toxic gas, you'll die. But you'll have 30 minutes before it kills you. Which means you could survive for 30 minutes.
Destiny killed Yako once, and I killed him only once. Not even necessarily, because he probably could have hopped. No, I definitely killed him once.
What? Don't tell me.
There are no gas masks here that can block this toxic gas. And no fortes that can nullify it. There's only one way you could get through it. You do nothing. You endure it in hopes of Amapel taking you to the next room.
Oh my god, I tortured this man with sirens before he died. I'm sorry.
Then the culprit didn't do anything to counteract it and just passed through the toxic gas?
It's the only explanation that makes sense. This is the truth. I can't believe it. But if the culprit really did just endure the toxic gas,
Then they...
the culprit is...
It appears you finally glimpsed the truth. Well, how does it feel to have your world shatter before your eyes?
I mean, to be fair, I wasn't that close with it. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. You know, I think him dying in front of me kind of shattered that first. Oh, but I guess reaping his soul's really bad too. Shinigami, where do souls go when you reap them? Because your answer's gonna tell me how bad I feel.
Isn't this what you wanted?
What's he talking about?
Yomi's Mystery Phantom and Fifia are both right. Subconsciously, I didn't want to know the truth.
Huh?
Up until now, the Mystery Labyrinth was withholding the mysteries that led to the culprit. And that's because it's a reflection of my own reluctance.
Master, what's wrong? Do you know who the culprit is? It's the hitman, right?
No, it ain't.
The truth is worthless.
Oh. Okay.
Nothing has less value in this isolated, rainy city. No one wants the truth. Not even you! Now, rot away and die right here! No one will get in my way! Kanai Ward, Amaterasu! They both belong to me! If the culprit carried out the crime like you deduced,
Oh,
then
repel,
they
that's
should be
why.
dead from the toxic gas.
They are dead from the toxic gas.
But no one at the scene has died from poisoning. If you can understand that much, then what are you still doing
Yeah.
here?
You're right that no one in that lab died from that toxic gas. But that was part of the culprit's plan from the beginning. They planned to distort the facts of their death.
Yuma, are you sure you want to face the truth? Your world will fall apart. The
I mean,
world that you
I know the
believed in.
truth, so my world's falling apart regardless.
Your deduction is wrong. Don't disturb the peace.
I also dropped his hand there a second, like
It's not even
like
worth
Kingdom Hearts fight or
debating.
something.
Is this the best you can do to refute it?
Does that mean
give
I'm not
up
getting
and
the
die.
Chief like, last scab thing? Oh, by using the hitman. Thank you for stopping.
Expose the truth! The culprit misrepresented their death by using the hitman. The culprit realized their plan would be exposed if someone in the lab died from toxic gas. So they used the hitman to cover up their own death.
Use the hitman?
Meaning, the hitman wasn't hired to assassinate the doctor. They were hired to cover up the culprit's death by toxic gas.
Huh? The hitman's target was the culprit? Not the doctor? But the doctor was stabbed by the knife with the inscribed F. Doesn't that belong to the hitman?
All you would need is a similar knife. The story of Fink the slaughter artist using a knife inscribed with the letter F is well known.
Nah, we leave it alone until we receive further orders. Did you see the knife stuck in his back? It's the one that Fink the slaughter artist uses, right?
So it was all a ruse? The real culprit made it look like the hitman did it?
Stop, 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 stop! You useless garbage!
But also, why would Yomi want to cover this up?
To hell with detectives and the truth!
Because
I
either
will
way,
let you have your way in
Weska,
my
who's
city!
betraying Amaterasu, is dead either way.
There is
He just
no
isn't like
real
us, to be
culprit.
fair. That's
Dr.
fine.
Weska was killed by the hitman!
Huh? What's going on? Who is the real culprit?
The real culprit. The real culprit is...
The time has finally come. Yuma, it's time for you to acknowledge what you've known all along. If the tiny crack spreads any further, the mirror will shatter, exposing the chaos of the real world. Knowing this, will you still expose the truth?
I mean, it's that or I die in here. With you, mind you. And I'm gonna... I told you I'm dragging you alive to the end of the game.
Then, show me your conviction.
The clues pointing to the identity of the hitman's target. I know. I've known all along.
Now, expose the truth. Do it. If you want to burn the world down.
I do. Defeat Yomi with a key. A photo. Funny if it was wrong.
The bloodstains photo found in the hallway near the lab. There was a person pictured with a woman. That was the hitman's target. The real culprit behind this case. The blood obscured the person's face. But I know who it is. It could only be one person. It could only be...
How do you know? That person in the photo is the hitman's target. And who is it?
It's...
No. Stop! Don't you dare say another word! No one wants the truth!
I don't understand, but good luck, Master. I'm always by your side, haunting you.
Shinigami, not now. Not now, okay? Let Yuma be gloomy for a sec. Yeah, right, like Yomi cares about somebody. Who the heck is that person supposed to be? Oh, that's supposed to be Fink? Oh, right, because you put the thing on. God, the music's really nice.
Damn it!
Huh?
Yako.
Hey, why do you look so mean? Sir? Like he's protecting his soul, that would make sense.
Huh? Why? Why is Fuzzhead here?
Chief Yako was the only person attacked by the hitman in the lab. In other words, the chief was the hitman's target. But Chief Yako tried to hide that photo by tossing it behind the houseplant. He hid it knowing it'd be an important clue. And that's because the person in the photo is Chief Yako himself. It was given to the hitman so he'd know his target. And the chief tried to conceal it. Which means the blood covering the face on the photo was likely done on purpose.
Hold on, Master! Are you serious? You're really saying Fuzzhead is the culprit? Really? I don't buy it. You think he actually put together this elaborate murder? He's knocking on death's door just for this?
I don't want to believe it either. But there's no other way.
Don't forget this stuff.
No. What? No! What? Battle with Vivia tutorial? Okay, sure. And you make vampires gonna throw questions at you back to back. Press correct button, you think... okay. Well, I'm gonna hit Y, because it's showing me that's the answer. Hey, Vivs.
The phantom vanished. The truth has been mostly exposed, and the labyrinth cannot function much longer. Anything I do now might not matter, but I'll do it anyway. Because it's something I must do.
You're gonna live
While
past
the
this.
chief takes his final breaths.
And we're gonna erase your memories.
Vivia.
Because we love you. It's not manipulative.
Yuma. If Chief Yako is the culprit, then what about that death threat?
Yeah?
Why would the chief send it? If he was the killer? Answer me, Yuma.
By sending that note, everyone would believe the doctor's life was in danger, which was necessary for this sequence of events to take place. All the master detectives headed to the secret lab because of that note.
Also, yeah, I'd like to, you know, the last episode, I think I said, like, oh, yeah, what about those few people who snuck in beforehand? Or the few people who did, and obviously that was our detectives. Yep.
Chief Yako brought them here to take advantage of their abilities and murder the doctor.
Huh? Their abilities?
Disguise and time travel.
But the death threat wasn't sent just to the detectives. The peacekeepers received it too. What was the point of that? Why put them on high alert? What is the truth behind it all?
Oh, crap. Why? Kind of one of them stabbed me, though.
The note was sent to the peacekeepers because they were also part of the plan. When the peacekeepers received the note, they dispatched a lot of their personnel to the scene. The master detectives were able to take advantage of the commotion to enter the facility. They did it by disguising themselves as peacekeepers.
It would be convenient to have a lot of peacekeepers around if you want to get into the lab disguised as one.
This is why the peacekeepers also received the death threat.
Hey, you still want to do this? It's not too late to give up.
I am well aware of the danger.
Yeah, you look tired. Can you take a nap, please?
I haven't gotten this much exercise in a long time. But this is something I must do. I can't leave the chief like this.
Vivia.
Chief, stop him. Only one person has to get their soul reaped, okay?
Let's continue, Yuma. So, everyone disguised themselves as peacekeepers and entered the lab. You were already at the lab, and that's where you met up with the chief, right?
Yes, but we decided to split up after the blackout occurred.
Wait! That blackout should have caused a commotion. If we leave now, the peacekeepers will see us. I knew it.
He was being
This place
sus.
is crawling with them.
What do we do?
I'll draw their
wasn't
attention to
thinking
buy
him
some
as
time.
suspicious because,
In the
you know,
meantime,
he's chief.
you two hurry to that doctor.
The chief said he'd buy us some time, but he actually went and hid inside the airlock.
Oh my gosh.
Was the blackout part of the plan? So the one who caused it, was that also the chief?
Oh, oops,
That's
oops,
not it.
oops. Sorry, I just instinctively pressed Y. I didn't mean to do that.
The chief...
No, his box cutter.
The chief was with me in the security room at the time of the blackout. It's impossible for him to have caused it. So the only person it could be is the hitman. It must have been part of the job. He instructed the hitman to cause a blackout at a specific time.
But why?
It made us think the doctor was in danger, so we'd go check on him. We used Amapal and Fortes to get through the tight security system. Chief Yako had it all planned out from the start. He used us to break through the security so he could kill the doctor.
So, Master using Amapal and the Sheltered Skank's time rewinding ability at the panel chamber? That was all part of Fuzzhead's plan?
The only way to get past security was to use both Amapal and that Forte. The chief knew we'd figure that out.
I think it's more like he trusted us. He trusted that we would arrive at that conclusion.
I'm counting on you both. See you later.
Trust? How could this be a trust thing? He was clearly taking advantage of you all.
Okay, I know, I'm trying to think, like, is the murder of Dr. Weska for the greater good? Something that needed to be done? Like, bro, you better have written, like, the longest will back home in our submarine.
He gathered the master detectives using a fake death threat, then used their fortes to commit murder. What a scumbag! He used you all to get away with murder! Out of all the criminals I've ever met, he's the worst coward of them all! Master, grab that coward and...
Enough!
Sorry, he was just like, shut up, Shinigami.
Didn't have to come to this. Chief Yago saved me. He took me in. I had lost everything, even my memories. Sure, he may have been a little pushy at times, but still.
Hey, but you know what? At least it wasn't our cooking that killed him.
Really
Oh, I guess we did cook him, though. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. That was rude. Oh, goodness. I'm sorry. Dear God, I'm so sorry. That was bad. That was very mean. You have your freak out.
Why?
I'm gonna just take a sip of my drink and, go
Why
with
did
it.
you do it? Is this about the woman in the picture? Chief, please tell me! Or
There's no point in asking. That's just a mystery phantom. It's not the real Fuzzhead. Master, watch out!
The phantoms are a reflection of the same people in the real world, right? Which means he should hold the same thoughts. The photo behind the houseplant. I don't know what the chief was hiding, but that photo must have been dropped by the hitman after he was done with it. The chief picked it up and used his own blood to obscure the face. He knew the truth would be exposed if that photo was found. So, he hid it behind the potted plant. He left his blood on it, almost like he wrote a dying message. But in truth, it was actually a secret he wanted to keep hidden.
Is it? I mean, I feel like if he did, maybe he would have ate it. I don't know if you could still do that while being poisoned, but... Or, like, tore it like 150 million times.
Master, I think you know this, but to exit the mystery labyrinth, you will have to eliminate the culprit.
Yeah, we know. We know, Shinigami.
Chief?
Are you really going to do this?
Look, he's dead, we're alive. At the end of the day, he dead.
After all the mysteries are solved, the chief back in the real world will die.
He's dying!
But you saw yourself, Yuma. The chief is already knocking on death's door.
So just take my hand and let's go, Vivia.
Will you still bury him in the name of truth?
The chief took me in when I had no memories. Or anyone to
Yuma.
turn to. I trusted him. From the bottom of my heart. Now, I have to end his life?
I liked it, surprisingly. The little bit of peace and quiet I found at the Nocturnal Detective Agency.
Vivia, you knew the truth behind this case from the very beginning.
I had a hunch. Because of my spectral projection, I knew the chief had been planning something for quite some time. But I pretended not to see. I admired him and the world he had made.
That's why you threatened me, and were so uncooperative in the investigation.
I knew you would reach the truth eventually, Yuma. but I tried my best to keep you away. Exposing the truth won't save anyone. Neither the Chief nor you.
Yeah, Yomi's still going to, like, shoot us. We all know this, right?
You've already come this far. You've got to finish this. What'll happen to the other master detectives if you die here? Didn't you say you wanted to expose the truth and save everyone?
Vivia, you told me that the time would come when I'd have to prove my conviction. The conviction to accept the truth, no matter how cruel it may be. Now is that time, isn't it?
Yes, and yet you intend to continue. If you're prepared for it.
Hey! You better not get in Master's way again!
Yuma, do you remember when the Chief's soul called out to us?
I need a flashback. Give me a flashback. Give me a flashback because I forgot what he said.
Huh?
Yes.
Yeah, the truth is cruel. Never in history has the truth been known to be kind. But you know what? Turning your eyes away from the truth and living a lie is
Alright, he
harsh
did say
too.
that.
In the end, you can never look away from the truth. So really, when you're lost, believe in your own heart. That way, even if things end up all wrong, at least you can stand proud.
I always averted my eyes from the truth. For my own sake. My own peace and quiet. But I could never say with confidence that I was proud of myself. In the end, I was just running away from everything. That's why I entrust this to you, Yuma.
Entrust what?
You signed a pact with the Death God in your desire for the truth. I want to see your conviction. As long as you don't stray from exposing all truth, I believe you'll be able to face it, cruel as it may be. I want to see it through to the end. It's why I followed you here. In that sense, we're accomplices. If you must bring down the Chief, then I will lend a hand. I won't avert my eyes any longer. I, too, want to live with my head held high.
He said he wants to live! He said he wants to live!
Because
I totally can fix him.
I, too, am a detective.
Vivia.
When you're lost, believe in your own heart. That way, even if things end up all wrong, at least you can stand proud.
I understand, Chief Yako. Thank you for everything you've done for me.
We're not at all thinking about why he had to do a murder. I mean, we know it's for her. Are we gonna get big? Oh, we're not even doing the game big thing. We're really just going straight to this part. Okay, cool. Deduction. Dis-moi. Did not. Whatever. Okay, anyway. Where's the secret lab located? What are my options here? We got Amapal, we got knife, and we got intercom. Intercom. Okay. Oh, there we go. Where did the culprit hide? New. What did the culprit use to get past security? Look at him! Look at him right on my phone! I don't know why it's so cute, but it is. I know he's dead and all, but... Also, what? No way? A mentor figure has died? A horrible death to teach us something? What panel was he? What do you got there, Yako? A knife! No! Sorry, I have to act more cheery so I don't feel sad. Okay, alright, what we got? Amaterasu, Peacekeepers, oh, okay, those are definitely all the way back in the beginning. Amaterasu. We're still looking for homunculi, right? Head and decontamination. Here we got Fink and Fubuki. Like, I know we said he did this, but it's weird seeing him do it. Like, bro, you said him 3 times! Yeah, I knew it was an accident. I knew he definitely kicked on purpose. Sorry, I'm looking at the pictures. I'm like, I know, and it's gonna play it. Hold on, sorry. I'll just continue going here. He's like, oh, by the way, hey serial killer, how's it going?
Step right up! Peacekeepers, a CEO, a research doctor, a hitman, and master detectives! 2 dead bodies, but lots of shady characters! Truth bombs are about to be dropped! Time for the deduction denouement!
The victim in this case is one Dr. Weska. This incident features a sinister and meticulously detailed plot centered on the doctor.
The old geezer was holed up inside a lab at Amaterasu HQ. He was a total hermit in the critical lab, with a totally overkill security system.
The culprit made thorough preparations beforehand to break through that system.
Boom killing a shut-in is hard work. The humane thing to do is to reintroduce him to society first.
Yeah, with that out of the way. Posing as a hitman, the culprit sent a death threat to the Peacekeepers, the detective agency, and the research lab. At the same time, they contracted a real hitman and had him infiltrate the research facility.
They spilled the beans about Gramps being in danger to lure both the Peacekeepers and the detectives to the lab.
You see, the Master Detective's presence at the scene was an indispensable part of the plan. It was how the culprit gained access to the research facility, after all. The hitman infiltrated the lab exactly as planned. And we arrived with Makoto at the same time.
Stuff went down, blah blah blah, and Master got locked up by that Yomi guy.
I was rescued by Desuhiko and the culprit, who were disguised as peacekeepers. With the real peacekeepers rushing around, the culprit took advantage of the turmoil to sneak into the lab. But after catching up with them, the power suddenly went out, separating the culprit from the rest of the group.
The blackout itself was caused by the hitman, right? And getting separated was all part of the culprit's plan.
Right. They used the blackout as an opportunity to hide in the vents in the airlock chamber. Afterwards, we headed to the critical lab to check on the doctor's condition, just like the culprit directed us. But since that lab used a separate power supply, nothing strange had happened.
old "the doctor's in danger" spiel was an act, huh? He made a fool of you, Master. What a dick!
But then, someone attacked the doctor while we were trying to talk with him over the intercom. We had to get into the doctor's lab.
But that time, the old geezer was playing games with us. And he even tried to kill you and the others with a trap! That bastard wanted to use your dead bodies! He really got you there, Master!
I don't see why you're so happy about it. The doctor's sham made the case even more confusing. Even if we tried to get to the doctor, the critical lab was guarded by tight security. The only way through was by using an Amapal. The culprit rode on it by emerging from their hiding place in the airlock vent and jumping onto the robot's head.
All aboard the Amapal Express! First stop, a shower of toxic gas! Humans can't protect themselves against the gas, but since it's not instantly fatal, it wasn't a problem. Next up, the panel chamber and high-voltage shocks! One wrong move, and it was insta-death! But thanks to that sheltered skink, we got all the continues we could want. So, we managed a perfect clear! The critical lab was finally breached!
The culprit had anticipated we would get through this way. They also knew they would die over and over as a result. The camera feed was affected when the culprit jumped on. I should have realized what was happening.
Again, not true, just twice.
No use crying over spilt blood. On to the next thing! Where were we? Oh yeah! To open the door to the doctor's lab, Amapal had to reach out its arm and hit a switch. And when the door opened wide enough for a person to squeeze through, the killer snuck inside.
Amapal can't follow any new commands while its arm is extended, so the culprit didn't show up on the camera.
Then, the culprit boom-killed the old geezer using the same knife as the hitman. Gramps was pretty much deaf, so a backstab was easy peasy.
Then, the murderer tried to leave the room before Amapal entered. But they knocked the robot over on the way out.
They then went back into the airlock chamber vent to wait for you and the others to go by.
We entered the critical lab and found the doctor's body. The culprit used that time to get out of the vent and head for the hallway.
That was when they were found by the hitman. And stabbed.
They'd already been in contact with the toxic gas, so death was inevitable. However, dying by gas would expose them as the doctor's killer. So they hired the hitman to kill them, thereby concealing any involvement.
I guess that means the killer completely trusted in the Master Detective's capabilities. They knew those powers would get them close to the doctor. But why were they willing to die to hide the crime?
I can't say for certain. Was it his pride as a detective? Did he simply not want his friends to know? Whatever it may be, I'm prepared to face the truth. The culprit who murdered Dr. Weska, and even included his own death in the plot. Yako Furio! It was you!
He's so happy about it. He's like, yeah, good job, Yuma. I'm so proud of you. Not such a trainee rookie anymore, are you, kid? Slugger. Yeah, no, this hurts. So, I mean, I'm gonna play on, but man, they knew what type of cliffhanger they're going to do when they said you can't, just anything past this chapter. Like, What a cliffhanger this is gonna be for y'all.
But why? Chief Yako, why? Why didn't you ever talk to us about this? Why did it have to end this way? Why didn't you Is this really what you wanted? Can you even hear me?
It doesn't matter who it is. Exterminating the real culprit's soul and destroying the mystery labyrinth. That's why I'm here. Surging bloodlust. Overflowing despair. The brilliant soul of Shinigami shall expunge this cursed case. Death to all deplorables. Ruin to the vile mystery labyrinth.
God, he's crying too. Jeez. You took his crying soul. Yuma. We're the bad people.
Master's naivete must be rubbing off on me. I mean, not even I hated Fuzzhead. That's weird. This mystery labyrinth is falling apart slower than usual.
We shouldn't let our guards down yet. Do you really think we're done here?
I was wondering.
Do you have all of the fragments of truth that you sought? If so, we could just leave, right?
I think we still have the why.
No, we haven't uncovered everything yet. No, there are still some mysteries remaining.
Huh? What's remaining?
The why?
I reaped the culprit's soul already. I know it's slow, but this place is starting to come down.
Maybe it's not directly related to this case. I don't want to leave any questions unanswered for Chief Yako's sake. Please, help me, Shinigami.
Oh, fine. I can't say no to you, Master. You know I can't resist helping you when you rely on me. First, we need to reveal whatever mysteries are left. That should open up a new path. Lay it all out, Master.
This is so weird and so backwards. I'm gonna split this investigation to 3 episodes. Because I know the after part of this is gonna be long. The doctor's notes.
Are you ready to play the Shinigami puzzle?
Motive? Motive, right? Wait, I don't see a V.
You're wrong.
It's Dr. Weska's body. Dr. Weska's...
You can do
Here,
it, Master.
hold on. Maybe he was trying to swap. What's the word am I looking for here? What was the thing that proved his betrayal? Emails! His emails! Come on, go faster, E. M. Oh crap. M.
That's right.
A.
Go.
I. L.
Go.
Shinigami? Yeah, that's not going in the video. Sorry, Shinigami. That was too suggestive of a pose that you did. That was different. It was normally not that. Normally it's just you lounging. Shinigami.
Oh, it's a secret dungeon! The labyrinth must be breaking down so slowly because the identity of the culprit isn't the only mystery. But it's still definitely coming down, so you better hurry, Master!
Yeah, got it.
Yuma, I'll follow you to the end until you reach the truth.
He's really turned around on me. I like this.
Thank you.
But we're gonna stop here. That way I can put the finale with the chapter. You know, like the chapter wrap-up things ever? They're generally pretty long, so... I know. I'm going to find the truth. Later. Wait, hold on, before we go. Oh, just Vivius updated? I'm like, Chief Yako's is gonna be updated, that's for sure. Okay, so yeah. So we'll end the episode today. And then I'll put the last one that I'm allowed to put up. And then I'll ask you guys in the next episode. Oh, but we'll have a special, very short episode because Fubuki's mini episode comes out. And since I learned they're only like half an hour-ish, I definitely won't do a stream of that because that's too short for a stream. And I'll just put it up in a quick episode. So anyway, I will see you guys all next time. Laters!